How you doing tonight? Burning the midnight oil for you. Info. Finance info with 50 Cal. I'm your host, 50 Cal. I'm just here to inform you. Make sure that I give you a good entertainment. I also want to make sure that you're well informed on the financial markets and the world around you as well. For my financial guys out there, my day traders, baby, what's up, baby? What it do? For tonight's installment of Finance Info with 50, we pretty much just going to talk about media. Media is a big thing when it comes to understanding what's happening in the markets. Just watching the news, not just your local nightly news, because that's like some of the most bullshit news out there. Primarily, first thing I want to cover is the major network news that cover financial news and things of that sort. You see NBC. Bloomberg is the king of them all. Bloomberg is non-biased. It shows diversity. You have women on there. Hey, Bo! You have very different ethnic backgrounds on there, and they don't cover based upon what they may be told. They cover based upon what is needed to know in the market. And that's the beauty of that network and what they do. Sky News is, if I'm not leaving an extension, or seems like it is, there's another extension of that network as well too. Understanding that these motherfuckers be lying is a very big important thing. You gotta remember, news is another form of business in which they make money off how many views and what's attracted and everything of the sort. So a lot of it's still business, but at the end of the day, by you absorbing all that info that they have to give you out there through the media and through news and through each pundit out there, even the opinionated pundits, like the opinionated pundits may come out with stats that are very valuable for you in the market. My day traders, you understand the difference between, a stat that looks like it's just swayed to one side opposed to something you can actually use in the market. That's a whole lot harder for a person that's not involved in the market to be able to discern that information, because all you see is a statistical number on a news source that you're told to believe every day, which is totally understandably true. I can understand that. But the reality is that there's agendas out there, and there's powerful corporations and powerful people out there that pretty much control the world the way they see fit. The second aspect of news and information source is obviously your social media. It's a big difference than to just watching Bloomberg News or even just watching Jim Cramer, Mad Money. It's a big difference because now you're really being infiltrated with a very opinionated, agenda swayed style of the way you're being told. There's no limitation to how they can do things on Facebook and Instagram and how the advertisement can be and those sorts. And it's important to really kind of like filter what you hear when it comes to different things on the news. Remember, most of that shit on Facebook be fake. Most of it. It really is fake news. I know Donald Trump say that shit all the time, and he just made the term fake news just bullshit. But it really is fake news. And it's fake news on both sides, everywhere. So the reality is this. What you want to believe on Facebook, I got an auntie that wants to send everybody a mass message on how the government's taking over by next week. Like, I'm on the news. I know they're not taking over next week. I know they're not. They've already taken over. So the reality is, just be very mindful what it is that you believe or whatever side of the party you might be on. Because I don't care if you're Republican, Democrat, Independent, whatever, whoever watching. I don't care if you're American. If you're not American, even in your country, wherever you are, if you're in the middle of a torn red country, you're trying to learn financial, just very much, it's hard to remove your emotions from stuff. But at the end of the day, if you really want to be in the markets, then knowing what to take in and knowing what not to take in is vitally important. Thirdly, I want to cover advertisement. Advertisement tells you what's key. Advertisement tells you who got money. Advertisement tells you what's popping, what's not. And the reality is, the more of that same company's advertisement you see, that's who you know got money, because at the end of the day, it costs money to advertise. So right after COVID was popped off, you saw all the commercials. Now they heartfelt care about you. Just come into Walmart and we love you. And as soon as they know that they had the okay to open up, it was going back to being funny again. I mean, literally. Dating sites went up during COVID. Health shakes went up during COVID. Blenders got bought more during COVID. Which, let's just take a blender for instance. Blender, that's metal, that's plastics, that's wiring, that's electronics, that's shipping, that's manufacturing, that's everything. So if you learned that the sales of blenders went up and the sales of ice creams went up and the depression rate amongst women that was in the nursing industry during COVID skyrocketed and dating services went up, it's pretty safe to say that there's some bitches giving up some pussy out there. So you can use this in your everyday life. Like, I'm sorry to say it in that manner like that, but for real. Using your everyday life, when I used to sell for Comcast, I used to use the environment, everything to my benefit. If it was windy that day, I'm knocking on all the doors. Somebody gonna let me in because it's windy. If they want to listen, they got to let me in because it's windy. It's cold. It's raining. Use those kind of things to my benefit. If I was walking with somebody else, if I had a partner that day, and me and him or me and her, sex sells, regardless of what side of the line is on. Men out here with fan pages just like women out here with fan pages. They find them more attractive, then look, you gotta do the same. And that is just about using those things, and the market is very much comprised about, and that's why I love it, me personally. You get to use all the info, all the music, all the stuff that's happening, and you get to use those things to your benefit, to your learning, and to your adjustment of how you comprise yourself in the market. The last thing I want to cover is two areas of news that we really very much forget about because of all the bullshit in the world. I mean, there's sports news. ESPN got their own thing on sports. There's all kinds of celebrity news and bullshit news. It's very important to be, even if you're not in the market. If you're not in the market, this is for you. If you are in the market, this is definitely for you. Science and tech and nature. I know science, for one, you need to know which company is picking up the next studies on how the phone's going to be. Because pretty soon, it's going to be a 3D light up screen on your watch, and you're going to be sending a dick pic, through 3D. So you need to be kept up on what it is that you would like to, you need to be kept up on the newer information. You need to be kept up on the newest trends that's happening out there in the science world, in the tech world especially, because the tech world, right now, the top companies right now, Amazon, delivered service tech company of, Tesla, Facebook, they're all tech companies. Tech companies, Silicon Valley is popping. So you need to know what's going on in that world. And it's just some fun news in there. It's just real good information in there that allows you to discern what it is that you want to learn. It's important to know your nature news because of global warming and things are happening. And if you're in the business world out there and you're looking into other avenues of what you want to go to, grants is a great way. You'll know that once the shows start, we're going to be covering grants. We're going to cover a lot of different things. So I just want to, put that out there. But grants is another way that, you get a lot of news because a lot of different things happen in the world. Then you can relate a grant to what's happening going on in the news in another part of the world. If you're from another part of the world, we have grants over here that may be conducive for what it is that you would like to do as well. So with that said, thank you for joining me. Thank you for subscribing. Please like, share, spread the word. Spread the word in the hood. The conduit of finance is right here. Follow me on all the socials. Right here on Cash App if you want to show some love. The Street Conduit of Finance is the channel. I'm 50 Cal. And this has been another installment of Finance with 50.